Audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. On a good night, listener discretion is advised.
What did that guy say?
I don't know. That music was ripping, though. The phone number for Loveline is 1-800-LOVE-191. That's 1-800-LOVE-191. And now, here's Loveline with your hosts, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, thank God Drew's back. Phone number for Loveline. Shut up. 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew, fresh off his whirlwind tour of San Francisco. Did I give the phone number or just a fax? All right. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, our guest from Duran Duran Power Station, and of course, the neurotic outsiders, John Taylor, is here.
Specialist in neurosurgery and addiction.
Fine. Fair enough. How are you, John?
I'm very well.
Good. Haven't seen you in a while, but it's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Truly one of the nicer guys in rock and roll.
Thank you very much. Yes, I get quite a few name checks on this show, don't I? For being a nice guy. I do appreciate that.
I've said this a few times, and Drew, you will back me up on this, that all the guys in Duran Duran are amazingly nice.
Yes.
For a band that's been around as long as they have, sold as many records and nailed as many women, they're very, very friendly guys.
Right. Since you were last time, we had, I forget about his name.
From Duran Duran? I think we had Simon.
And the leopard pants.
Oh.
The newcomer.
Warren
Cucurilla? Yes. Nice guys, too.
Nice guys, yeah.
That Warren, I can't
Solid
figure...
stand-up guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit obsessive about their exercise there, old Warren.
Warren is. Yeah. Can't figure out whether to, like, arm wrestle him or F him. But I love that Warren. Shaven, pumped, and tanned all the time, Warren. Anyway, John?
Yes. It was intense. That was quite a trip to have around, you know.
Well, now, you've been out for, what, a year and a half?
Yeah.
And how's it feel? Are you glad?
It feels great. Great. Yeah, I knew that I was going to be getting out, but... yeah, I'd been in it all my adult life. It was a real sick marriage, you know, and it was one of those kind of, oh my God, you know, nobody's ever going to return my phone calls and my life is going to end, and it was just hard for me to see life without it.
Well, how old were you when you started it?
17.
Really?
Wow.
And so what, it was a good 15 years, wasn't it?
It was a great 15 years, yeah. Yeah, it was just...
Was it 15 years?
No, it was nearly 20.
Oh, okay. I was just going a little light, that's all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nearly 20, but you had a solo release in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I did. Actually, around about the time... Well, just what led into the Neurotic Outsiders was an album that I did. It was called Feelings Are Good and Other Lies, and it was an internet album. I did it here in L.A., and the Steve Jones, who... You know, he and I formed Neurotic Outsiders.
Right.
He played on it, but it wasn't a big deal solo extravaganza, you know.
But now you're going to tour around. You're going to do some Duran Duran, some Power Station.
Well, yeah. I mean, all those songs are a part of my story, and I'd gotten to the point where I was ready to go out and front a band and, you know, put my own band together. And I've been working in the studio. I've got a studio in Santa Monica now, and I've been working on and off for about a year on an album, and recording's very controlled, you know. It's very easy to be in control. And I didn't feel I was really selling the songs as well as I should be, so I felt I needed to get out and play live. And
but when you go out on this tour, how much new stuff are you going to play?
Not much new stuff. I mean, there's something off. I'm singing something off every album I've ever done, I think.
Right.
Almost. But to me, that was so much fun. Was wow. Well, I can play this and I can play that. I'm not really doing the obvious stuff. I'm not doing the obvious Duran Duran hits. But songs off albums that, you know, I feel I have a big emotional investment in that maybe weren't highlighted at the time, and just songs I really feel I can sing, and I sing with meaning, you know.
How long were you with Power Station?
Well, I put it together in 1980, whenever. We put one album out, did one tour of the U.S. with Michael DeBart, standing in for Robert Palmer. And then we decided to do it again 10 years later, which was about 4 years ago.
Right.
And we started writing and recording, and it just wasn't working for me. We recorded an album's worth of songs, and then I said, you know, I don't want to go on the road with this. I don't, you know.
Did you ever nail one of those guitar girls?
You know, a very good friend of mine married one, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're not married anymore.
I was saying to your record rep that I thought maybe I could get one of them by now. Remember the Robert Palmer guitar girls back there?
Right.
I figure it's been about 10 years. Some of them have been in and out of rehab, maybe a bad marriage or two. Just right for the pickings.
For you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
just your type.
at the time they
Or
were
just
24,
you're their
25,
type.
and on top of their game. But it's 10 years, been a rough 8, 9, 10 years, and I thought I could come in now.
Well,
My stock's risen.
I don't want to put you off, but maybe give it another 5 years.
Another 5 years? Wait till they get into their 40s. Wait till they have like a hysterectomy. And maybe lose a limb to... why would you lose a limb?
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Okay, that's good. I was thinking more of... what is the high blood sugar?
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I was thinking maybe that, or maybe lose the sight in one eye, even better.
Osteosarcoma.
All right, Drew, don't make me look like an idiot. John, you're 15.
Yes.
You're on with John Taylor.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful, actually.
Are you?
Okay, this is what happened. My best friend Sean and I, we've been really, really close for a long time. And I'm bisexual, and he knows that. And, well, we got drunk, and we were just, like, talking and stuff, and one thing led to another, and he ended up giving me a blowjob. So, ever since that, he's been kind of, like, you know, withdrawn. He's manic depression, and he's been, like, very depressed lately.
How old is he?
He's 15 as well.
This, by the way, is a case in point why kids your age shouldn't be experimenting, because it can really trigger some overwhelming feelings when you... let's say he already was confused about his sexual identity. Let's say he's homosexual, your friend, John. But he's having difficulty coping with that. Experimenting at your age just creates just overwhelming conflict and difficulty understanding who he is, what it means. I mean, it's better just to, when you're confused, just to sit back and just take it easy and wait till your confusion settles down, then go ahead and act on your feelings.
Okay.
So, and if he's bipolar, I mean, people with bipolar have very delicate chemistry, and it can really be set off by these sorts of stressors. Is he on medication?
He just recently talked to his parents about it. Well, his mom, his stepdad.
Not about the incident.
Huh?
About his bipolar illness.
No, but about the fact that...
It's funny. I will classify gay sex as an incident. It's kind of funny.
About what, John?
Huh?
So what happened? He talked to them?
He pretty much talked to his mom about the fact that he tried to kill himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was actually kind of stupid. He tried to suffocate himself with pillows.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. No, hold on a second. I don't mean to laugh at any 15-year-old who's struggling with his sexuality and bipolar disease, but trying to suffocate yourself with a pillow is like trying to choke yourself on your fist.
Exactly.
Or just holding your breath until you pass out and die.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Sure.
You say you're bisexual?
Yes.
How long have you known that?
I pretty much came out to myself about 2 years ago. Like.
Let me make an observation or predict. Bet if you like. Should we bet or should we just get?
You want to gamble? I don't have any money on me. Just go ahead.
I would bet John was sexually abused before the age of 8. About right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, and that's what creates that kind of sexual ambivalence by 13.
Parents.
I understand.
Not by parents.
I'm not saying by parents, but by somebody, and that's what creates all this confusion at your age.
But John, here's what our approach to this is. If you're gay, great. If you're bisexual, great. I call it homo and half-mo, actually, with the bisexuality. But the point is whatever your disposition is sexually, God bless you. But you're a little bit confused now. You had a few things go on when you were younger. So instead of acting and getting yourself into trouble, why don't you just lay low a little bit sexually And things have a way of sort of, the picture will become a little clearer. It's as if it's like you're driving, you got a bad wiper blade, your headlights don't work too well, it's teeming outside, so you speed up.
Right.
You're going to hit something.
Right.
Just pull over and let the rain slow down, and then when it clears up,
and really
go
the
ahead.
call was not about John, but about John's friend, who was probably going through something similar in terms of his confusion about his sexual identity, and he has a major psychiatric illness. Make sure he gets proper care. That's all you can do.
And later on in the evening, I know this is no segue, but in lieu of Seinfeld going off the air and leaving a gap in the lineup and the new fall season coming out with some of the TV shows,
Yeah.
I have a list of some ideas for some TV shows I wanted to
To
sort of
fill in there.
Yes,
Oh,
I wanted
nice.
to pitch over the air.
What, maybe about 10:40 or so we'll hear that?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
All right.
All right, so you may want to stay tuned for that. Pete,
Yeah,
you're 41.
yeah.
That's what I love about this show.
What's that?
Well, we talked to a young 15-year-old who's struggling with his sexuality, and now we talked to an old 41-year-old who's long since forgot his sexuality.
No.
No,
That's
not true.
Anyway, my girlfriend was diagnosed with Graves' disease,
Mm-hmm.
and the medication didn't work. Now they want to irradiate her thyroid.
Well, you always irradiate it, ultimately.
You do? What's Graves' disease?
Graves' disease, like President Bush had and his wife had. Why am I blanking on her name? Barbara Bush.
Okay.
Bad idea to name a disease after a grave.
Yeah.
All right, but what it is it's one of the most common forms of thyroid disease, and it's the immune system is thought to attack the thyroid and cause it to become overstimulated and release a bunch of thyroid hormone. And what we typically do is get on medication to try to sort of level things out a little bit and then irradiate it. Radiation is very common. It is the standard treatment, and it's routine, and it's essentially curative.
They actually told her to stay away from her children or any young.
For a short while afterwards.
Yeah. For
Why?
2 days.
Because she's radioactive.
Really?
Yeah.
And they,
Wow.
Yeah.
now,
You mean it could be as if they were too close to some sort of nuclear testing facility or
Well,
something?
I mean, when cells
It's
are
like,
dividing rapidly.
3 Mile Island.
Yeah, but when cells are dividing rapidly, when somebody's growing, like a young child, a small amount of gamma radiation or X radiation can create an error in the development of the cells and create a cancer.
They pump her up with radiation, and then she's sort of radioactive for a little while?
Yeah, but it's all concentrated in the thyroid gland.
Does,
but she may emit certain rays out of there.
Can she see through stuff?
No.
No. Okay. So that's just...
So have her get her definitive treatment, all right?
okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with a drop in libido?
Well, are you sure? I mean, when you're hyperthyroid, all kinds of weird things happen. And then when the medicines we use, I'm sure she's on a beta blocker, and that drops libido too.
Pete?
So she needs to get through all this.
Yeah.
You do a little drinking?
No.
You don't?
Nope. I have a beer once in a while.
Do you have a stroke?
No. Why?
No, I'm just curious. Drew wrote it down on a piece of paper, slid it over. I mean, John did.
Well, I think you guys are just the coolest.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pete.
Pete. Good luck. She's going to be fine. Don't worry. It's sometimes a little bit rocky right after the radiation because thyroid can get too low, and you have to supplement. It kind of goes back and forth for a while, but ultimately she'll feel fine.
Pete sounded to me like a guy who was no stranger to the sauce. Did you get that vibe off him?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I think that was just his manner of speaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord knows what I sound like.
Well, should we tell you?
No,
don't
I don't want to hear. I went to the dentist today. I'm in an extra bad mood tonight. Jeremy.
Hey.
Hey, you're 16.
Yep.
You're on with John Taylor, formerly of Duran Duran and now of the John Taylor Project.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Now there's this chick I like, right? She's pretty hot, okay?
Hey, you drink, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smokes pot.
All right.
Never wrong twice.
Jeremy smokes pot.
You smoke pot?
Yeah, I have. I still do.
Jeremy, you sound like a guy who puts like 3 ounces of Jägermeister in the bong, smokes a bowl load, and then just shoots the bong down.
And then calls the radio station.
And then calls the radio station. Is that your M.O., Jeremy?
Huh?
Are you drunk now?
No.
No.
Good.
That's actually worse news.
Probably like him better when he's drunk.
Well,
oh, you're
this is how
stoned?
he is-
Oh, yeah, I see. Ooh, yeah, it's a good point. All right, Jeremy, what's up?
All right, I don't know, there's this chick I like, and she's with another guy, but she likes him, but, not really. And I've been hitting on her, getting to know her and everything, and I'm kind of getting it back. I want to know if I should keep going or should I back off, wait.
I say you tell her you want to date her,
Oh, I
but
have.
that first, all right, and then back off now.
Yeah.
Now back off.
All right.
And if she breaks up, you come on in. But in the meantime, you're sort of spinning your wheels, and it could be painful and unnecessary for you. And
I'd ask John Taylor what he thought,
she
but
doesn't have she doesn't have to make up her mind.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you ask
I
John?
was gonna. I just realized that guy's been Duran Duran since he was 17. What woman shunned his overtures sexually ever? You never had a woman turn you down, have you?
Sure, I have.
No, outside of the
Yeah.
family? Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
Of course, yeah.
Like royalty.
Well, they were okay. They were married to other guys in the band.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm married. I'm either married to someone else in Duran.
I'm sorry.
Here are your two choices. They either have to be married to someone else in Duran Duran, or
No.
Or your dad.
Richard Gere. Oh, please. Oh,
No, or be married to your dad.
Right.
Yeah, then again.
I got that.
Yeah, thank God.
But here's the deal. Do not, when a woman is not being receptive to you, don't keep pushing. Back off. You end up looking like an idiot, and you end up driving them away.
You end up wasting a lot of time, more importantly.
Right. And the only shot you have is to back off anyway. Mark.
Good morning, Adam.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Drew and John.
Good morning. Where are you?
How you doing? Fine, thank you. How you doing, John?
I'm good. I'm good. How are
Mark.
you?
Good. 3 Taylors in the band and none related, huh?
That's right.
Man, it
Yeah,
must be
what
like
is it?
8 in the morning where he's calling from. He's so up.
Where are you calling from, Mark?
Calling from Orlando.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Not where everyone is not stupid in Florida, Adam, by the way.
Did I say that?
Once or twice.
All right.
That's okay. Dr. Drew, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
I know you probably read my main question, but I got a quick one for you real quick. I was just wondering, can a family physician prescribe antipsychotic drugs, or do you have to see a psychiatrist?
Any physician can prescribe it, but I think that anyone other than a psychiatrist is outside of their area of expertise and shouldn't be doing it. One situation where the primary care type doctors might be doing it is in very old patients who have dementia and have behavioral disorders. Sometimes it's reasonable then to use low dose antipsychotics.
Okay.
But otherwise, you really should see a psychiatrist.
Okay, my main question. On my penis, okay? You know how you're circumcised, okay? I am circumcised, I guess partially. The doctor,
John isn't. He's from England.
That's right.
okay. The doctor, made a mistake.
You know,
or something,
excuse me
Drew.
a second, Mark, but don't we get into discussions about this? Is it you that every time he comes up, we get discussions about circumcision?
Rod Stewart got into a... I'm thinking of other English guys who got into penis discussions on the air.
It's not penis, it's foreskin discussions.
Yes, foreskin.
Right.
But he didn't do the clipping completely all the way around. He left part of it attached to the head and then to the foreskin. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Does it pull the head down?
I mean, it doesn't hurt or it doesn't affect me really in any way.
There are all kinds of, I don't want to say abnormalities,
But the circumcision,
it isn't always
ranges
symmetric.
quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it isn't always perfect. And,
I mean, there's no... Drew, what is that? It doesn't seem to be that uniform.
and
You
it's
know
one
what I
of
mean?
the leading causes of bends and curves and whatnot towards the tip, because as it scars down and heals...
Doesn't seem like a certified professional of this. Maybe it was like a paramoil.
Right, Adam. I mean, you think the guy only has...
Not the actual moil had a paying gig, but he sent one of his lackeys over to do a job, and he had a shot of the ceremonial Manischewitz before he did.
Exactly. I've always 31 years. I've always wondered why this happened. You know.
It just did, and if you want it repaired, I'm not clear exactly what you're describing, but I'm sure the very kinds of cosmetic repairs can be done.
That'd be a good gig, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't worry about it if it's not impairing your function any.
What do you do? Paramoil? Well, I'm not a moil. I mean, I work with one pretty closely. They don't have that.
No.
No. Okay.
Do you think there's any difference in libido between circumcision?
No.
I'm
Sorry.
So glad to hear it. I mean, I always assumed that men with circumcised men, were able to go at it for longer.
Why?
Well, I just did. Didn't you always figure that everybody had a bigger penis than you did?
Oh, I see.
Not true. It's hung like a black rhino. I saw his penis in the airport.
It scared him.
Yeah, and we weren't even in the bathroom. That's how big it is.
When he went through the security control.
Yeah, it set off the alarm. He has to check his penis. It's so big.
He can't go into carry on.
He has to send it through that conveyor belt, and then the women look at it on the X-ray. No, he carries it in violin case. Drew?
Yeah.
But what John may be saying, although this isn't what John's saying, but this is what I'm saying based on what John's saying. They say that the uncircumcised penis is more sensitive. so that when you engage in intercourse, the sensation is a little bit greater.
Maybe.
Therefore,
maybe I don't know that is true, but I understand what you're saying.
Anyone done any studies on that?
No.
It would seem to make sense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm you know, the physiology of orgasm isn't directly related to skin thickness at the tip of the penis.
Right.
Okay.
But all things being equal, you take a guy with a much more sensitive organ, and I think that's going to lead to it.
Logic would tell you that would be the case, but I don't think it's been proven.
No, logic would tell you then in that case that the guy without the sensitive tip would be able to maintain a longer...
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that's been shown anywhere. So.
Okay.
There are all kinds of weird things when it comes to physiology that make sense, but don't happen.
All right. Drew, John... Drew, I see you want to take Adrian here next. We got to go to break. I want to talk to Vanessa next, who's 16, has an odd boil-like thing on her vagina.
That's nice.
See, that just sounds like we're here. You know, isn't that what we're here for? Isn't that what the name of the game is, Drew? Boil-like things on the vagina. All right, so we'll talk to Vanessa. John Taylor's going to be here. Drew will be here, and I'll be after this.
Loveline, Madame Carolla, and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right 1-800-LOVE-191. That's 1-800-LOVE-191.
You're listening to Loveline.
The world-famous K-Rock.
Hello, I'm Simon LeBon.
And I'm Warren Carolla from Duran Duran. You're listening to Love Lines with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Just for you.
John Taylor's here from Duran Duran and Power Station and Neurotic Outsiders. We're just talking puberty with John. John has himself a...
Well, it's not too difficult to talk about. It doesn't seem all that long ago, is it?
But it was.
You know what, Drew? And John, I would say the same for you. And I know this is going to sound a little ill-conceived initially, a lot like my idea that Drew should show his children his penis now and then never show it to them again so that they think their father has the hugest penis in the world because that's the way it looks when you're 5 years old. And then if you never see it again, you just go through life with that image. But here's something else I wish someone would have done for me. Don't you think you should take pictures of your children in the nude, like 12, 13, 14? Wouldn't you like to see a picture of yourself with no pubic hair? No?
I think there's something in that.
There is something there.
There's a curiosity.
I mean,
because your perceptions are such that you can never really remember what that was like.
But in terms
it
of
be funny?
positive body image, I mean, just accepting what you are and seeing yourself change and being able to look at yourself, I think anything that encourages that is
Wouldn't
good.
you like a front, rear, and profile shot of you totally naked from age, let's say, once a year from age 7 to age 21, or even 18? And how effing funny would that be sitting around looking at that today? And I don't know.
I think you have to be middle-aged to want want this.
And I want you to remember that those things would end up on the internet.
Yeah, that's true. But, Drew, you get, like, your nanny to do it or your family physician to do it. You don't look at them yourselves, and you just give it to your child in a sealed package with a ribbon on it on their 21st birthday. I think get a kick out of that.
My parents had this box brownie camera, which they called it, and it was like you had to roll this film, and I think they managed to use it once a year. I think about one photograph got taken every year, for the first 20 years, 15 years of my life.
The thing that's amazing that I think about sometimes is how the notion of seeing you on video or on film when you were a kid was even though we're not that old, was pretty bizarre and pretty interesting. And now every kid is going to have their life completely documented. Yeah. I mean, just about every kid, Drew, including your kids, I'm guessing, are going to be able to sit around when they're 35 with their kids and their husband or their wife or whatever and look at crystal clear images of them at age 4 and a half running around at their birthday party.
That's right.
Whereas you have some, like, grainy black and white thing, and there's some fat kid's ass blocking half your face, and you're wearing a party hat, and you can't quite make it out.
No, that's right.
Not only that, but audible stuff.
Yes.
I mean, you just have a picture. You're going to have your kids singing the Pledge of Allegiance at age 4, and it's going to be on a DAT.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah. But it's going to make them more self-conscious.
But you know what? I think they're much more. They blow it off more. For us, there's so, it's shrouded in mystery, and look at that! How it looks like looking at a movie from the turn of the century or something.
Yeah, it's like when they get one of those pictures of Sasquatch or something.
For us, it's like, nah, that's for They're very matter of fact about it.
You know what? I know we're running on longer than we should, but I would bet that by the time your kids and John, your kid or kids, one kid, by the time they hit 2021, the notion of them, let's say, being on camera doing something that would terrify most normal people,
they don't even notice it.
They wouldn't notice it. I mean, they could probably be news anchors or something without any training.
The Jim Carrey movie Truman is so interesting to me because that's sort of the way a lot of kids live their life in front of a camera sometimes.
Have you seen it?
No.
No. You're not. Are you going to see it?
I'm all caught up on movies. I am all caught up.
No, you're not. You've not seen The Shining yet. How can you tell me you're caught up on movies when you haven't seen a movie that's 18 years old?
Current movies. That was the time.
Please.
That was the dark ages, the sort of the missing years.
Yeah.
Drew, the missing years.
I call them the peyote years, but Drew doesn't like to talk about that over the air. Vanessa.
Hello?
Hey, you're 16.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I just got, like, these things on my vagina, and they look like boils.
Do they hurt?
Huh?
Do they hurt?
They like sting a little.
Are they up near the lips or up more on your abdomen?
Up more on the other part. I don't know what you said.
Okay. That's probably just infected hair follicles.
They're boils?
Zits, yeah, they're
that big?
They can get pretty good size. Now, down if they're more really towards the vagina, that is something called typically, most commonly, be a Bartholin's cyst, and they get infected. Hot baths, that sort of thing will take care of these things.
I had a carbuncle on my ass once.
I think you had a fistula, but you just don't know it.
No, I'm going carbuncle. What's a fistula?
Something that, if this is, I have to drop this.
Listen, I don't like things with the word fist in it involving my ass, Drew.
If this
you understand
is inside,
that?
It's like something,
right, wait a minute.
something tunnels through and breaks through.
No,
Yeah.
there was none of that. It was like The Great Escape. Chuck Bronson broke out of my ass. No, there was no fistula. It was a carbuncle.
Yeah, but all you see at the surface is a big red dot that then drains. And it hurts.
Yeah, I still go with carbuncle.
You got the conversation around to his ass, didn't it? Did you know?
Everything goes back to him.
Yeah, even if we're talking about fistulas, it goes right back to my ass. Vanessa?
Yes.
Are you sexually active?
Yes.
Have you had sex with any unsavory characters?
Yeah.
These don't ulcerate or open up in any way, do they?
No, they haven't.
And they're not really like in your groin.
No.
Okay.
Who are you having sex with?
People.
Oh, people.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no names.
Multiple people.
I've been pregnant before.
At 16.
Mm-hmm. You using
all kinds of betting opportunities tonight.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
I don't have any money, so I'm not into gambling tonight. Vanessa?
Yes.
Are you using any protection?
I am now, since that happened.
What are you using?
Condoms.
Okay.
I was on the pill for a while, but I quit taking it because, like, I couldn't remember and stuff.
How about Depo-Provera or...
Well, what's going on with you, Vanessa? Why are you having so much fun?
I don't know.
Are you taking your asthma medicine?
Huh?
You taking your asthma medicine?
What's that?
No.
Her voice is worse than yours.
Yeah, she sounds like Brenda Vaccaro at 16. It's scary. Where's your dad?
He lives in Columbus.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're in school and everything like that?
No.
No.
I got kicked out of it.
You did?
Why?
Because they found a bowl on me and I already had been suspended like twice before for not going to school.
They found a bowl in you?
Yeah.
In you?
No, like in my pocket.
I mean, like from a bong?
No.
Why don't you get back in school, Vanessa? Find a way to get back in.
Well, I'm going to next year.
Oh, what's a bowl?
A bowl for from a bong or something, or a pipe?
Yeah.
Didn't I just say from a bong? And she said no, like a little bowl.
Well.
All right.
And Vanessa needs some skills. That's why it's important.
All right, Vanessa, don't get pregnant.
Don't get pregnant.
Please.
Get back in school. Please. I mean, this...
Oh, boy.
What can you say?
Vanessa?
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
All right, take care of yourself, would you?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh. Wouldn't it be great if everyone who was 16 just was like making collages and thinking about who they're going to ask to the junior prom, and if Dad was going to let them borrow the car and all that good stuff. You get the feeling Vanessa that was about a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
If at all. Yeah. Hey, Ann, what song are we playing? Planet Earth? The Duran Duran Planet Earth? Oh, okay. I love that song. And sometimes I got like is a
80s flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put out Capitol had just put out it's called The Essentials, and it's all the remixes and the extended dance mixes of the songs. And
is this one of those? Is this that version of Planet Earth?
Yeah, it's pretty good. They've done a good job.
Were you involved in it, or you just?
No. I knew they were going to do it, but it's nice packaging, and they've really done it nice.
Hey, artistically, isn't it amazing when you're not involved with something, but someone gets hold of your work and it comes out real good?
Well, I think Nick was involved in it.
Oh, it had to be someone.
Yeah.
Because I found in just my short experience here in Hollywood that anything you don't personally stand over someone and yell at them about turns to pure crap. Am I right, Drew? Actually, the stuff Drew and I do, even when we're there, is crappy.
Right. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, that's right, Drew. But I'm the one who complains.
That's true.
Aren't I the one who raises my hand and says, "Hey, this is a steaming load of ass as we're doing it"? And what's the consensus? Shut up and hold still.
Yeah, right.
This is brilliant. And then a month later, it comes out, it's crap. Then I kick Drew in the nuts for not saying anything. All right. So, Ann, do we want to play that now, or we'll play it after the break? I can't see it.
After the break.
Okay. All right.
Well, we got a few minutes here. Do you want?
I know.
Do you want to tell your thing now? Your list?
I will do that after the break too. My these are I didn't spend too much time on it, Drew, but these are just some ideas. If the Hollywood community is listening, I know they're looking for shows for a new fall lineup, and they may want to pick up some of these. I think they're pretty strong, quite frankly.
Are you suggesting that you're perhaps a part of them?
Well, I'd be at least a creator of the shows. I'm not starring in any of them, but they would be my brainchild, and I would probably get paid something based on that. Drew, I got to tell you, I was just at the Beverly Hills Mall, or the Beverly Center.
Oh, that huge mall, yeah.
I was walking around there. It's kind of surreal. I hadn't been there in about 8 years, but two young, looked to be Filipino women ran up to me, grabbed me, and said, "We are nursing students at local college.
Right.
I don't know, Whittier College or something like that. If they're listening, they're going to kill me.
This is Pacific, maybe?
And you need to sign an autograph for our instructor who forces us to watch Loveline and write reports on it."
Oh, how interesting.
Isn't that nonsense? They should be fired immediately, this woman. But does role playing with you'll play Drew and I'll play Adam, and I was really flattered.
Yeah, that's flattering.
You have no idea that kind of junk goes
now,
on.
This is the kind of thing I think could replace Seinfeld.
Yes, you mean just Drew and I sitting around chatting?
No, other people playing us.
Exactly.
Other people playing us.
Yes,
See?
at a nursing college. Where the main focus, they get together every Thursday and they do this take.
You hear those wheels turning, you know where that's going to go with him.
Oh, just remind me. Yeah, one. I'll give you one title. This is just a title, and this doesn't even maybe UPN type of thing, or maybe USA, the USA
This
channel.
also could be a porn title, I suspect.
No, doesn't. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be in it. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Just the title, but I think that's enough. Rollerblade Academy. You'd watch that, wouldn't you, John?
It really would depend what time.
The LA
Think
Thunderbird.
about it.
The LA Thunderbird story.
How bad could Rollerblade Academy be? Just close your eyes and see what the mind conjures up when you picture Rollerblade Academy.
I picture a possible vehicle for Eric Estrada's return to the...
I like it.
I'm trying to coax Jan Michael Vincent out of semi-retirement. All right, well, come back. I'll give you some titles from some new programming ideas I have, and we'll hear Planet Earth from John and the boys.
I feel so liquidy.
Really?
Line 1-800-LOVE-191.
Planet Earth. Yeah, it sounded good. Drew, that brought you back.
1983?
One.
It's when Drew, you're pretty heavy into the coke back then, I remember.
Oh,
That's when you used to wear that turquoise blazer with the sleeves pulled up.
And the fedora with a big plume in it? Yeah, that was me. Purple.
John Taylor from Duran Duran is here. John Taylor will be going out and playing some solo dates and playing well, not solo dates, but not Duran Duran dates, Neurotic Outsider dates, or Power Station dates.
No, it's another entity.
He's doing his own thing date, but he will be with a band, and I'll give you those tour dates in a moment. First, as promised, with, again, Seinfeld going off the air tonight, and the new fall lineup coming up on television, I thought I'd use my power on the radio to churn out a couple ideas, see, you know, just throw them against the wall, see what's stuck. Drew?
Let's go.
We're all ears.
We're a great team. All right, here's number one. And just think about some of these ideas and think about some of the things that have worked on TV. And
just get a pen or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This one I call Breaking Even. This is Brian Bosworth. Remember him, the football player?
Oh, yeah.
He plays Stone Breakin'. That's his name. See the way I work the last name into the title, Breaking Even?
Yes.
Yeah, he plays Stone Breakin'. He's an ex-Army Ranger turned PI. And the ladies love him.
Dad wanted a Purple Heart in the Vietnam War.
Yeah, he's decorated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, once in a while he has a flashback.
He was a Navy SEAL.
Army Ranger I had him as.
Right.
Man, I haven't worked out all the details, but I'm guessing there's like some corrupt sergeant or something who slaughtered a few Vietnam kids, and he stepped in front of a few things, put a halt to it, and they drummed him out.
Got it.
But we know the truth. You understand?
Got it.
All right, this one's called Extra Large. This is Jim J. Bullock. Who's that gay, spindly white guy? You remember him? He inherits a big and tall shop right in the middle of Harlem. And all these huge black men come in, and they see this little skinny gay guy behind the counter. It's just, I just wrote hijinks ensue. I didn't really work it out, but if you write hijinks ensue, people know that means there's comedy. Big and tall shop right in the middle of Harlem. That'd be great. Good Morning, Idaho. This stars Robert Pastorelli. Now, he was the Italian guy who lived upstairs in Murphy Brown's apartment. Like, he painted her apartment.
He'd be like the morning show weatherman.
Hear me out. Good-natured mob informant who takes a job doing morning radio in Idaho is part of the witness relocation program.
Oh.
And the problem is the witness relocation guys are all, they got their panties all in a bunch because this guy's got a radio show,
right.
And they're trying to keep him anonymous.
Yes. Perfect.
And he's real Italian. He's right in the middle of Idaho.
Hijinks ensue.
Can't get any good marinara sauce. That's the big. That's the kicker on each story. Each time he thinks he's going to get some good pasta sauce, he never finds it. Here's more of a sort of documentary type thing in the vein of cops and real stories of the Highway Patrol and that sort of thing. Real stories of the U.S. Patent Office.
Oh,
we just see what goes on there.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a lot going on.
Imagine the stuff that gets away from that office.
People bringing in different inventions, different plans.
The stuff never gets patented.
Right, okay. That's a good angle. Drew, you could executive produce that one.
Mystery.
Jimmy Walker, Texas Ranger. What the hell's J.J. Walker doing? Why couldn't we just, this Chuck Norris is making money hand over fist doing this Texas Ranger business. I say we get Jimmy in there. Hello, Larry Flint. It's a paralyzed, drug-addicted pornographer who has to deal with the trials and tribulations of raising teenagers in the 90s.
Ooh.
Huh? That's
like
good.
That.
Trying to discipline the kids, chase him around his wheelchair, and they're running, and they jump on something high so he can't get to them. Fang and McCoy. Now hear me out on this one, because it's a little bit funky.
Soupy Sales in it?
Fang and McCoy. No, I haven't cast this one yet. Vampire, DEA agent, and his drug-sniffing beagle hook up to bust international drug traffickers. I call this supernatural cop canine buddy drama. Fang and McCoy. And the joke is you think Fang is the dog.
Right.
But McCoy's the dog. Fang is him.
That would sustain it for 2 seasons right there.
And finally, one that, Drew, we've talked about for a long time, and I know it's near and dear to your heart, coffee and donuts.
Yes.
And, John, you may not have heard of this.
This is the Poe produced and written, yeah?
Coffee and donuts. Coffee is Sheldon Coffey. He's a Harvard-educated, straight-laced, bow-tie-wearing forensic examiner who plays by the book. He goes by the book, 100%. He's hooked up with Johnny Donetti, Donuts. That's coffee and donuts, right? He's a tough, streetwise Chicago vice cop who plays by whose rules, Drew?
His own.
That's right. Oh, you guys know TV. He plays by his own rules, you see? And it's like The Odd Couple meets NYPD Blue, and there's that scene where they're sitting in the stakeout, and they're waiting, and they're sitting in the car for a long time. They're getting on each other's nerves, and Coffey's wearing a bow tie, and Donetti's wearing like a full-length suede duster, and Donetti's eating a corn dog. And Coffee's saying, you know what's in that? And Danetti's going, why do you got to ruin it for me? You know? That's good. All right, so I threw out, what, 7, 8 there? One of those has got to stick. Oh, yeah. That is a new season. All right, John.
Geezer of creativity.
Thank you.
Geezer, yes.
I think he was talking about guys.
Yeah, I know.
John Taylor's here from Duran Duran, and we will be back.
This is Loveline.
EE191.
This is Loveline.
The world famous K-Rock.
All righty there. Loveline. John Taylor from Duran Duran Power Station, Neurotic Outsiders. He's here tonight, and we'll take a little 10-second break, and we'll be right back.
This is Loveline on
Radio
Station. KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.
The world famous K-Rock.
Hey, Loveline, phone number 1-800-LVE-191, fax number 310-854-4455. John Taylor's here. Oh, well, let me give a few dates here there, John. Now, how many in the band that you're taking out?
5. There's myself on bass and singing. There's a keyboard player, a drummer, a guitar player, and a saxophone player.
And how, and don't take this as condescending, but how close to the Duran Duran sound can you make with those guys?
Well, it's not...
or is it going to be a different interpretation of
It's different
the stuff?
interpretations. I mean, Duran Duran haven't been playing, we don't play Rio that sounds like the album. The album was, 15 years ago, and it was a different bunch of guys then, and it was different sounds. It's not... They were also quite highly produced records,
Right.
And it's impossible to recreate.
Right.
You wouldn't want to anyway. It's like, I think a song is evolving constantly. So for me, it's just an opportunity to play it. I keep the parts I like, the parts that I feel good about today, and improvise the rest.
And here are some of the places you can find John and his mates. That's what they call it over there in England. Coming up Thursday, May 21st, he's going to be in San Diego. I'm guessing at a place called
Canes, it looks like.
Canes, although it looks like the E has been dotted.
I think that's an apostrophe. Canes.
Sorry. Friday, May 22nd, at the Coach House in San Juan. Saturday, the 23rd, will be at the Coach House in Santa Barbara. I'm guessing it's a different Coach House. They don't just move it, do they?
That's right.
No.
Thursday, May 28th, they'll be at Club Caprice in Redondo Beach. And May 30th, he'll be at the Roxy in L.A. Yeah, that's cool. And that's it for now.
Yes, it is.
All right, so
it's going to be so much fun. We're going to do it all again. But that's enough
like
for
repetition.
now. That's enough for now.
But you have enough money, right?
For what?
I want you to produce some of these pilots.
I'm not doing this for money.
No, I know.
I'm doing this because I need the stimulus.
But what I'm asking is you guys didn't get screwed with Duran Duran or anything, right?
I don't believe so. No.
So you did all right.
Yeah.
And I guess it still generates money. They're still selling a lot of records. They're still
absolutely.
The lunch pails.
We just generated about $5 when we played that Planet Earth back there.
Do they have? Is there memorabilia? I mean, I know there is, but
sure.
Is that stuff still moving pretty good?
There was a fan convention. There's one here every year, and they had it down in Venice this year, a couple of weeks ago, and
you were drunk and stumbled by.
They called me
and urinated on
and asked me if I'd do something for them. And so we put a show together with all my stage clothes from the last 20 years or whatever.
Like the Liberace Museum.
Oh man, it was funny. It was good.
Was it painful dragging out stuff from 1983?
No, you know what? I've been through that painful stage, and now I just love it all. I'm not I don't cringe over it anymore.
You ever hand it all over the Hard Rock? Or Planet Hollywood?
No, I've never done that.
You guys don't have any guitars up or anything at any of those places?
No.
They certainly must have approached you.
They might have done. I don't know. I remember going to the Hard Rock Casino a couple of times and being kind of depressed about the fact that there wasn't anything there.
Oh, really?
But I don't know why that is. Maybe we're just not hard rock enough.
I don't know. I remember like being at the Hard Rock in Vegas and seeing stuff up from bands that were not half of what Duran Duran was.
Right.
I mean, right, Drew? They had like
absolutely.
a drum kit from Molly Hatchet and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they certainly could put a Duran Duran guitar up there.
We're a long way away. We're in London, and when people approach us, we sort of, usually the process was, we'd like pass it around ourselves, and we'd and or and think about it, and then by the time we'd thought about it, we'd forgotten about it.
Place went out of business. Place went under. Been 8 years. All right, so you make enough money from the Duran Duran days that you don't have to work, but you're an artist and you like to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I couldn't live the way that I want to live today. I mean, if I wanted to really cut back, and I mean, LA's a really expensive city to live in. If I wanted to go and live in the boonies somewhere,
you move to Van Nuys, get like a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, and Nissan,
drive a Daihatsu Charade.
I could definitely get by, but.
I think you probably have a better life than that if you didn't work.
Maybe.
I think so.
It's not an issue.
No, you're an artist. You do it for the love of the art. Pablo, just like Drew. That's why Drew wants to leave 5 minutes early every night. Pablo?
Yeah?
You're 16.
Yeah, that's right.
What's going on?
Well, 2 days ago, I was at my girlfriend's house, and her parents weren't home. And so we had, what would you call that? Oral sex?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she has braces, and I guess she did an accident and she cut me. And ever since then, ever since I get an erection, it really hurts.
Where were you when this was happening?
At her house.
What room?
What room? Her room.
Drew doesn't believe it. Why don't you believe it, Drew? I believe him. You don't?
Why would it cut? Where is it on your penis?
Huh? It's I don't know. It's underneath the head.
Silly. The braces are a bad idea. I really believe that.
Yeah,
but how does the front of her teeth get?
Oh, well, it could happen. She's inexperienced.
And why does it hurt with
emotion.
an erection?
No, and braces don't really cut stuff anyway, do
Right,
they? I mean,
no.
they're in her mouth all day long. They don't. She's not walking around with a bloody lip, is she?
No. And why does it hurt with an erection?
All right, Pablo. Hey, Pablo. We're labeling you a liar.
Well, I don't know. It's like the blood, I guess, starts circulating, and it's just it stings or something.
All right, what should he do with his penis? Hypothetically, Drew, even if you don't believe Pablo
Keep it
over
clean.
here,
Peroxide twice
there
a
are
day.
people who've gotten cuts on their penis.
Sure, just like anywhere else, same kind of issue in terms of caring for the wound.
Speaking of bleeding from the about the mouth, I was at the dentist again today. It was a delightful experience, and the hygienist said to me at one point after scraping, and oh man,
Scraping under the gum, beneath the gum. Yeah.
Scrape, yeah. Like my frontal lobe she got with
And
that
you
damn
can
stick
you
of
can
hers.
taste the blood. Actually, feel it spilling out of
Great.
your mouth.
Yeah, she said at one point, this next procedure may tickle a little bit. I said, well, hold on 1 second. I said, here's your range. Your range that we get to discuss here on the sensation chart goes from
excruciating,
very uncomfortable to insanely excruciating. But the ticklish part, not in the range. It's not in here. There's nothing ticklish in this entire place. You could put a feather duster in my ass, I would not smile here.
Back to his ass.
You could put it in John Taylor's ass.
Oh, that's better.
And he would not smile. Ticklish. Oh, I'm the world's worst patient, Drew. Thank God they're working on my mouth. Otherwise, it'd be nonstop complaining. As it is, I can only complain when I'm going for the spit cup. Rosemary.
Hi.
You're 29.
Yes.
What's going on?
Nothing. I just wanted to ask John a question.
Oh, fire away. Yeah.
No, actually, I wanted to say I love your Trust the Process website, and I think you're going to be great on your tour. So, but I was just wondering, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you, that you can say on the radio?
Wow. Well, I remember we were on a Duran. We were on a promo tour. We were in New York, and we got out of a car at a radio station, and I was surrounded by a film crew and a journalist, and this journalist sort of thrust this girl in front of me and said, "Do you know this person? Do you know this person?" And I said, don't know what you're talking about, don't know what you're talking about, and went on into the building. I came out after having done the interview. They're still there. Do you know this person? Do you know this person? This person is going to have your baby. And
phone screener Lisa? No. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just playing a hunch. She loves you.
It transpired this girl had gone to one of the newspapers in England. She had photographic proof, which she had doctored of me with her, photographs of me with her. Her parents supported her in this story. They said I'd visited the house several times and had lunch, dinner. And I think I contacted a lawyer or whatever. I mean, it was very embarrassing.
Was she good looking?
Oh.
No? Oh. then you gotta deny it.
And actually, I bumped into these guys, from ABC. I think it was ABC or CBS a year later, and they said, "Oh yeah, John Taylor. Last time we saw you, we followed you around New York one day. Yeah, we were doing a story on the English tabloid press." And they'd been at this editorial meeting in London where these things had come up. Well, we got this girl says she's having John Taylor's baby, and we want to confront him with it. Well, where is he? Well, he's going to be in New York next week. Okay, well, get out there, go there, and see him. And dutifully, the CBS crew who were filming the workings of the English tabloids followed this journalist with the girl to.
How authentic did the doctored pictures look?
To me, not at all authentic. I mean, I don't get it, they're just hedging their bets, I think. But
right.
They ended up, the press, of course, not wanting to miss a story, still had a story.
Right.
Because they had a story that this person was manufacturing this.
I kind of wonder, and actually I don't really wonder, but Drew, wouldn't you agree that, once those stories are done, even if there doesn't tend to be, even if there's
no truth
to them, there's still a certain amount of damage done, isn't there? Because of the way people's minds work. I mean, not that John gives a good rat's hiney, but
well, actually, that reminds me of like when you can make complaints to the. We had an instance recently where my girlfriend and I were walking around Hollywood, and we had our puppy dog stolen from us. A couple of kids came up to us, stole the dog, ran away, jumped in a car, and drove off with the puppy.
Really?
The Hollywood police were amazing. They got us the dog back within 3 hours.
Wow. How?
Well, my girlfriend got the number of the car.
Oh, wow.
We traced the number. The police were waiting for the kids when they got back, and the police, the officers that had come around, were telling us that people can file complaints now against the police department here in this city, over a public telephone, and the complaint goes in the file. And
right.
Sure.
And I mean, it can be, you can just have a grudge against somebody and entirely invent.
That's the way the system
like
is. The good guys, I mean, that's the way our society is set up right now, is good guys are bad guys.
Wow.
Until proven otherwise.
I love the puppy story. Eventually they're going to have a LoJack or something for dogs, wouldn't you think? Boy, society's beginning to crumble when people just snatch your puppy out of your hands and run with it as if, what are they going to do, sell it on some sort of black puppy market?
Well, isn't there a trend in this town where people take the dogs and then they offer them up for they get the reward money? Isn't there a bit of that going on?
I guess so.
I don't know. We figured it was some kind of a gang initiation rite.
Sounds like a fairly benign gang. But I thought you had to kill a Vietnamese liquor store owner or something in order to get full initiation.
Would they
in a
just
gang.
run past you and grab it, or would they actually confront you?
No, they bent down to pet it and just snatched it and took off, threatened to shoot me if I came close. And
well, thank God you and the puppy and
it had a happy ending.
Yes.
Were the guys prosecuted anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to the girl, by the way, who trumped this story up about you knocking her up?
She married a millionaire. No, I have no idea what happened to her.
I mean, here's what the kind of society that I would like to live in, by the way. And this just, I'm just thinking about this old toothless hag who was the mother of one of the North Hollywood bank robbers who shot about 7,000 or 8,000 rounds into an unsuspecting public about midday in the middle of the week. She's suing the LAPD, and I think she's also suing the fire department for not getting her poor lad. And I would say misunderstood is probably the best you could do with that kid in terms of describing him. Even the most generous guy could only go as far as misunderstood with him. He did not get the medical attention he deserved By the way, the guy was shot when he was firing off hundreds of rounds, point blank, really, to a cop car that pulled up, and these poor bastards were holding their guns up over their head and firing at this guy. She's suing the city because he didn't get prompt medical attention. Now, it's okay with me, by the way, if someone just takes her out. It really is. I don't know if I can get sued for saying that, but I don't mind living in a kind of society where people who make allegations or people who try to extort or people who do things like this are met with a very severe punishment. Like this girl who attempted to extort money or ruin your life or do something to the good name of John Taylor. I don't mind her doing a few years in prison at all. Do you mind, John?
No, I don't.
Okay. Drew, mind?
No mind.
No, because the sort of message is now is, well, give it a try.
Right.
Everything is sort of, well, give it a try. Well, just sue him, tell him he got me pregnant, whatever it is, I'll just give it a try. I know I can get an attorney. I know I can get some press. And if it doesn't work, well, what's the worst that could happen? Right? Slap on the hand?
Yep.
Rebecca?
Hello.
What's going on?
Hi, actually, I'm not Rebecca. I think I got connected to the wrong person.
No, that's all right.
Oh, my name's Gwyneth.
You calling the homework hotline?
No.
No.
Do
Good.
I sound that young?
No.
Actually,
Gwyneth.
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to say two things. One, I wanted to say hi to John. I was a major fan of Duran Duran 15 years ago.
Yeah?
For a long time. And,
Well, hi.
hi. And you guys really affected a huge generation of us back then.
In a good way, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. I think that all alternative music as it is today probably was affected by your group. So that's really, I just wanted to say thanks.
Do you ever masturbate to the band, Gwyneth?
No, I didn't.
Seriously?
But I did to him.
Really?
Yeah,
To
I
John?
had a big crush on John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't, you're embarrassing me, Adam.
All right, I won't pin you down to an exact number, but let's say
My other question is...
over 500 times?
Moving along. She's moving it along. She knows.
Drew, you'll back me up on this. There's not a woman walking this planet between the ages of 21 and 41 that didn't go through some sort of Duran Duran phase.
You would think.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. So what's your other question?
Oh, it's about bisexuality. I've heard you guys comment several times when you talk about homosexuality and bisexuality, and you almost automatically go right to where was there a childhood trauma related to sexual abuse?
No,
yes, we do. Go ahead.
No, not if we're talking to a 25-year-old. But if we're talking to a 15-year-old...
I'm 30.
If we're talking to a 15-year-old who wanted to announce it at the Thanksgiving table when they were 12... then we go to it immediately because that's the only thing that will cause that kind of behavior.
Okay, so there's not a direct correlation between homosexual behavior or conduct?
There is a correlation between sexual ambiguity or ambivalence and chaotic behavior and childhood trauma.
Okay.
And so when we talk to a 12 to 16, maybe even 17-year-old who is developing a great deal of interpersonal chaos and who is unclear on their sexuality and going on, and really, chaos is really the main word, the main feeling we get.
People call chaos bisexuality. I mean, when they're 15. But I think when you're 15 and you're bisexual, that's just sort of confusion. And when you're 25, that's bisexuality.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Got a thought on that, John?
Well, we were talking about this.
Nah, forget it. We're moving on. Just thought I'd drag you into the show.
Thanks.
That's cool. Adrian.
Hello.
Hey, you're 16.
Yes, I am.
What's going on over there?
Okay. Right now I'm dating a guy who's going to be 32 on Sunday. Happy birthday to him. And the last guy I dated was 29. And
what's your question?
My entire life I've always been attracted to men who have been at least twice my age. I was just wondering where that might have come from, why that might be.
The question we ask when somebody gives us this sort of question, the follow-up question is, why are you such a good victim? Why do you attract victimizers? Because a 32-year-old dating a 16-year-old is an impaired person, and somebody who's ultimately an abusive person.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not overtly abusive, but there's a certain, I would call it there's a retardation in their development that is going on.
And so why do you need to seek people who are abusive towards you is really the question. What happened with you? What happened to you growing up? Were you abandoned? Were you struck physically? What happened?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen my dad in about 6 years, but I don't know.
Was he an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you seek out abusive,
See,
emotionally
Drew's always right.
unavailable
He
men.
really is. And, you know, we got a-holes calling this show all the time. Actually, they don't. They've stopped arguing with Drew. But I talk to a-holes all the time who say, oh, not everyone was this and not everyone was that, and everyone's different. We're all individuals, and what gives you the right to say somebody this or somebody that? And maybe she's 16, and maybe she's in love with this guy, and who's to say, you know, you're not the emotional ID checkers. Big deal if she wants it. But Drew knows. Dad abandoned you, and Dad was a boozer. And that's why you need a new father figure.
You know, I got to say, I married my wife. I met her when she was 17, I guess, 17 or 18. And,
But you're in a rock band.
But you were what?
I was 29.
Oh, that's pathetic.
But you know what? There was some kind of retardation going on there.
Yeah.
I got to
That's
admit.
pushing the limit.
Oh, boy.
But that relationship didn't work, right?
You're right.
And that's all we're saying is that this is not healthy for relationships.
Oh, poor John had to sit there while we called this guy a social retard. Thinking it was about a year.
Called me out there, boys.
But there is a difference between a 16 and 18-year-old, too. 16 and 18 is a big couple of years there. And although if she were 18, we would say the same thing. But be that as it may.
Oh, yeah, no, but, well, John's wife is 17, by the way. But the point is I do think there's a big difference between 16 and 18 in terms of, at 16, you're smack dab in the middle of high school, and at 18, theoretically, you've graduated high school.
All right, but this isn't acting out. You're trying to work out some lost feelings. Something.
Well, you obviously think it's a problem, or you wouldn't have called in.
I think you got to look for somebody closer to your own age, people who are actually emotionally available to you in a real and genuine way, and that's painful because what you're trying to do is find somebody who is just like your abandoning alcoholic dad, because that's the only thing you know, and that's the thing you're trying to fix.
Right.
It's much more painful to have real, genuine connections and risk losing that and being vulnerable.
I do make exceptions for guys in rock bands, though, and I'm not just kissing ass, but here's what I'm saying. Your life is already so unrealistic at that point, you might as well just make it a little more surreal and marry a teenager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't trust a 32 or 33-year-old guy who drives a truck and is dating a 16-year-old. But if he was in a band, I'd let it slide.
Don't make excuses for John.
No.
He was a mess.
Oh, look at him. But, you know, but John, when he was 29, probably looked 15 anyway.
He looks...
Actually, you know, in my defense, I would say that having a child with somebody, you know, with that kind of age difference, at least initially, I mean, I was 32 when I had my baby.
And there is a difference. We don't know that your wife, all she did was date older men. She dated you when you were substantially older and then formed a stable relationship. I mean, that's different than somebody who is at 16 saying, I always go out with men twice my age.
All right, but John, what were you saying about...
I was glad that, you know, I was glad to be with somebody that had that energy, that had that youthful energy, you know?
Well, they had stuff to talk about.
You know, I think my parents were like 60 when they had me.
Right. Right, they just...
You know, they used to take me to pick up their welfare checks, you know, their old age pensions.
Yeah, John, scrub my teeth, and then I'll chain you to the front yard, and you can mince about for 10 minutes before you have to come in. Is that what happened?
Something like that.
And later, if you're a good boy, we'll plant bulbs.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
Oh yeah! 191. That's 1-800-LOVE 191. Loveline
On the world famous K-Rock.
Hey, it's the Loveline. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE 191. Dr. Drew over there, Adam Carolla over here. John Taylor across the way. We'll hear something else from John Taylor. Hey, Drew, what song is that? Is that Femme Fatale or Femme Fatale?
Femme Fatale.
Femme? Now, how would you say Femme Fatale? How would you spell
Well, Femme Fatale is sort of the Americanization of that.
But would you...
That's it.
Would you spell it that way?
Yes.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
No, all right.
It's French for a lady or woman.
Seems... is that all it means? It doesn't mean like dark woman or
well,
scary?
Femme Fatale means...
Fatale,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but femme is just woman.
All right.
Woman.
All right. Drew, you speak
All right.
French, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's from Britain.
Speak any other languages?
A little French.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I lived there for a while. I speak a little.
I would say, is France like what Spanish is when you live in L.A., when you live in England?
No.
Because you got that channel, you know.
Yeah, but you're not interacting the way you are here.
No, you're not?
No.
They don't have a bunch of the French guys come over and take restaurant jobs or anything.
But English in France is probably like Spanish is here.
Well, English everywhere.
Everywhere is like that, yeah.
But French is the first foreign language spoken in schools, taught in schools. It's high on the curriculum.
Right. We don't, and if you can't say curriculum, it means you didn't do that well in
It's
school.
past your bedtime.
Laney.
Hi.
Hey, you're 29.
Yeah.
You're on with John Taylor.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Oh, and John, of course, I'm 29, so I was a big Duran Duran fan also.
You're right in the middle.
Magic year.
Yeah. Yeah, great years. Well, my problem is I said he was my boyfriend, but he's more like my lover or whatever. He's really vicious when we have sex. He's really into hurting me.
Why do you stay with him?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the other night I learned that I was a good for now girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was, we had some guys on the show wrote a book, and they sort of put women into different classifications as far as guys thought. And there were the good for now girls, which were the ones they were dating and having bizarre sex with, but didn't necessarily want to marry.
Right.
So you don't think he's interested in anything long term?
Well, we've been together, honestly, for 9 years.
Well,
wow.
How about
but we split up about a year ago, and we got back together. And when we got back together, he got really bad.
He's probably buying a ring right now.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Does he do any drugs?
Does he do any drugs? No, neither one of us do any drugs. No, and he's actually quit drinking, but he bites me. I mean, he leaves horrible marks on me, and constantly tells me, during sex that he's going to make me hurt, and he's going to make me feel it in the morning, and he's forced anal sex on me.
This is something that he wasn't doing when you were dating before.
No, and it's just since we've gotten back together after being apart for a year. I mean,
and he stopped drinking since you got back. Since
he's cut back. I shouldn't say he's quit completely, but
he hasn't picked up speed or crystal.
No, not that I know of.
Did you? I'm playing a hunch here. Did you have some other relationships during that year?
Yeah.
Did you tell him about those?
No.
He doesn't know anything about them?
Well, I mean, I didn't tell him about them. I mean, that's not something you go and do. You don't go bragging.
I'm just wondering. There sounds to be a little bit of vengeance in the guy's penis.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And it's sort of surfaced right after you guys broke up for a year. And I'm just wondering if he's not doing some sort of a ritualistic payback in the bedroom or something.
Well.
Oh, don't make that puss, Drew. I may be on to something here.
Oh, Drew, what's the biting all about?
I just think the guy is, these are two people that, well, I don't know, but certainly he was physically abused at a young age. That's why the physical
Why is it surface now, though?
Because he's getting more comfortable, and it's...
He had 8 years to get cozy.
Either he's doing speed.
Well, I wondered, and I don't know. I mean, I've often thought that maybe it's a control thing with him, that because I'm like he's trying to break my will.
Yeah.
Because I am pretty I'm outstanding, or whatever you want to say. I'm very confident, and then when we get together, he makes me feel, like I'm, about 2 inches tall, and he, after he's done, I mean, the other night, and I've got to call it quits after this. I mean, I've got bite marks,
So
terrible bite marks.
You're gonna call the relationship quits.
I'm gonna have to.
Good. I mean, he's demeaning, disrespectful, non-empathic. That is not a relationship.
They forced sodomy on her.
Why would you even consider staying another second in a dysfunctional nightmare like this?
I swear I think I'm in love with him.
Why would you choose to be in love with an abusive, alcoholic, non-empathic, disrespectful, dysfunctional individual?
Hold on, Drew, you're talking about me now. Knock it off.
The only way that would happen is if you have some unfinished business with your family.
Well,
mom or dad is an alcoholic, and
both of them are alcoholics,
and that this is all sort of acting that out. Now, why don't you go to some codependency 12-step group, get a sponsor, work a program, sort this all out so you can go back and then have a real relationship. These are not relationships.
Until then, squirt some of those apple bitters on your neck in case he comes at you again. That's how you train him. Hey, but Laney, just one more time
go
because
go to Al-Anon and get a sponsor, please.
Okay.
Just so I can sleep tonight. Did how many guys you have sex with during that year you guys broke up?
35 or 40.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How many does he think you had sex with?
I have no idea, honestly.
20?
We were totally separated. We did not actually even speak to each other or see each other for a whole year.
In addition to getting...
hey, see, so I'm not so stupid with these questions, am I?
Al-Anon directory, get an HIV and an hepatitis screen.
Oh, I was very careful.
Yeah, you should actually be dipped in creosote.
No. I mean,
like
I know.
Like what they do to telephone poles before they put them in the ground?
No.
Please. You may have worms or something.
No, I practice safe sex always.
Man, you must have spent like a $8,000 in condoms that
yeah,
year.
Pretty much. I cornered the market on it. It's not something I'm proud of, and I'm actually...
All right, listen,
I'm seeking therapy for that.
I don't mean to make fun of you, but he probably figures you nailed 25 guys.
I don't know.
He's doing a little payback thing, too.
Well,
all right. He screwed up. I'm just saying this is the excuse that he needed.
She needs to get the hell out of that thing. Run. Do not look back.
All right, but could you kiss my ass for a second?
I'm not clear that that's the...
Yeah, but you glossed, John, your witness. You glossed right over that whole, how many guys did you sleep? Oh, that's not the issue. 35 guys.
How do you figure he knows that there's that many?
Listen, 35 guys, you don't think... listen, even if he cut that number in half, he's pissed as hell, right?
But I think this biting business, it's more kind of... it's more of a erotic thing. It's not against the you know,
forcing
not
anal
acting
sex, I'm going to hurt you, doing things she doesn't want, and making her feel demeaned and worthless. It's not just about the biting. I mean, for some reason...
That's a big number, though, isn't it? 35
yeah.
a year.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had better years than that, though. I'm guessing if I were to pick a year, I'd probably pick 84.
Hey, rock stars, exception to the rule.
84 for John. Okay, we'll hear Femme Fatale after this.
Famous K-Rock.
From when John was with, what's the name of the band, Drew? Duran Duran?
That one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you believe we get paid the same amount? Melanie?
Is that a fact?
It doesn't sound right, does it? Me towing the line the way I do. It'd be like if you got some interim drummer to fill in for somebody in Duran Duran, and he wanted an even cut. You know what I'm saying?
How do you stand?
Yeah.
I don't know how you stand it, Adam.
Melanie Freeman is here with John Taylor. Now, John, why don't you explain Melanie's new role in your new projects, and then we'll talk to her for a moment.
Melanie sings with 3 Alarm Fire, who are a band that I first saw about 2 years ago, I guess, and who I loved the first time I saw them, and we've just finished making an album together for the studio we talked about, and my partner Hein and I have a label, burgeoning label, and Melanie's band, they're the first album that we recorded outside of things that I've done myself. And she's going to be playing, they are going to be playing on all these dates that we've been talking about.
They're going to be opening.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't heard 3 Alarm Fire, but Melanie, you can tell us what kind of music it sounds like.
It's very hard to explain. We have an organ player,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Hammond B3 organ player. We have the drummer from X, you know, DJ Bonebreak. It's kind of like, some people have said it's kind of like Edith Piaf sings for the Doors, or, you know, or Patsy Cline and the Rolling Stones. It's just.
But it's
difficult.
All right, so it's kind of eclectic. But
Yes.
If you could pick a time, would it be 60s or 70s? I mean, you wouldn't call it. You wouldn't call it mid 80s.
It's kind of a blend of all of the eras. It really is.
Can you sing your ass off?
Yes, I can.
Oh, yes.
Can I, John?
Yes, she can.
Yeah, she looks like she can sing. She's got this flaming red hair. Is that why they named the band 3 Alarm Fire?
Not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to know why we named the band 3 Alarm Fire?
Go ahead.
We live on Beverly Glen, and there's a fire station at the bottom, you know,
right.
in Pico, and there's
Right
a
next
fire
to the
station
park
on top on Sunset.
Right.
And when we first moved up, our daughter Scarlett, my husband also plays in the band, a guitar player. And when we first moved up, Scarlett was like a little baby, and I'd be out there, you know, and the fire trucks would go by, and one time my husband said, "Oh, look, it's a 3 Alarm Fire." And that's the name of the band.
I'm not a fireman, but if I was, I would want to be at one of those two stations. One's up on Mulholland, the other one's right across the street from the park, right in the smack dab in the middle of Beverly Hills. I mean, it's you could certainly be on worse details. Drew?
Yep.
No outside reading material, please. So, do we predict, John, that the 3-alarm fire is going to be a big band?
Huge.
Really? And do you have the resources and the connections to take this CD and get it out to the people it needs to get out to?
That's a... Yes, I do. But it's about the music. They're just great, and people are gonna love them when they get to see them and hear them.
And when can we expect the album?
By the end of the year.
Okay. So you guys come back, and we'll listen to the album, and you can plug that away. But meanwhile, a 3-alarm fire will be out with John Taylor when he goes out on this sort of abridged...
The John Taylor Baby Steps Tour.
The John Taylor Bridge Tour. Rachel.
Yeah?
You're 13.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much, I guess.
John was thinking about quitting the band when you were born. Do you realize how old you are?
Yeah.
How come, how come you're still up, Rachel?
Sounds like my babysitter.
How come I'm still up?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to do.
All right, but that's a good excuse for going to bed.
I don't know. I'm usually up this late.
Where are you calling from?
Washington?
So now it's 3 in the morning, right?
Washington, D.C. or what?
Washington State.
Oh, okay. Fine. What's your question?
I have this problem with the internet. I've kind of been getting in a lot of trouble because it's been taking up like a lot of my time lately, and I am usually depressed when I'm not on it, and it's causing me to fail my classes because I'm not doing homework. And then
what kind of stuff do you do on the internet?
I'm usually just in chat rooms.
Yeah, what kind of people you're talking to? What are you talking about?
We don't really, I'm usually talking to like teenagers, about my age or a little bit older. And
so that sort of gets you away from your feelings a little bit?
Yeah.
Why are you feeling so crappy?
Well, I only feel crappy when I'm not on there.
But what makes you feel so bad in your life generally?
I don't know, I just always want to be on there. I don't know why.
What makes you feel so bad in your life generally? What's happening in your life?
Mostly just problems with my parents about anything. We just get in fights about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Have there always been conflicts in the house?
No.
Do you have any other siblings?
Yeah.
Older?
Younger.
Younger. So you're the first one really to hit puberty. Are they real harsh with you?
Yeah. Well, kind of, yeah.
How you doing in school?
She's failing out now.
Everything?
We just got like a report card today, and I didn't do so good.
Had you previously been doing real well?
Yeah, I used to get like straight A's and stuff.
Right. Did your parents take you to ballet when you were 3 and all that stuff?
I was in like tap dance.
Tap dance?
Even worse.
How old were you when you started that?
I was like 5.
5.
Do you have an eating disorder?
Me?
Yeah.
No, my mom kind of thinks I do. I don't know, because lately I've been losing weight.
Okay.
But I don't really think...
Well, we're kind of exploring the possibility that you're going through a more subtle form of abuse where parents get intrusive and don't give you any opportunity to develop as a person.
It's like what Drew does to his triplets.
I just can't believe she's still up, I mean, when I was 13, I think 9 o'clock was absolutely and that was Friday.
Well, what time did the Avengers come on?
7:30.
All right. And Benny Hill was what time?
8 o'clock.
All right.
Dad wouldn't have the Benny Hill show on that.
No,
I could only watch that when he wasn't around.
A little racy for a young lad
Rachel,
of 13.
It just sounds like you're depressed, and I think your eating disorder, if you have an eating disorder, may just be the result of symptoms of depression. I mean, your grades are failing, you feel miserable, you have this sort of the characteristics of the way you've been parented are sort of a setup for depression.
Hey, Drew, what is that drug that you take that makes you violently ill when you ingest alcohol?
Antabuse.
Antabuse?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to work on something called like cyberbuse or something. This is going to... I'll be a billionaire. Compubuse, where you put this in your kid's cereal in the morning, and if he spends more than 45 minutes on the internet each day, he becomes violently ill and begins projectile vomiting because... I'm scared to have kids because of this goddamn internet. I could see, I mean, if I were 13, I would be sitting on there although I was too retarded to know how to work a computer. But if they had such a thing, I would be Yahooing and masturbating all the night through, every night of the week. I'd be looking up porno.
You'd be masturbating on Yahoo.
Yeah, I'd look up porno from Europe. I'd be chatting away with these teen lines saying I was older and better looking than I was. I mean, I can't imagine having this at your disposal.
Are you still there, Rachel?
She can hear you. You want to talk to her?
Yeah.
All right.
Right, Rachel?
Yeah?
Have you met any of the people that you talk to on the net?
Well, actually, in, like, July, I haven't met any, but, I called this one guy who was, like, in Canada or something, and I kind of got my parents in a little money trouble or something.
What?
But that's
You mean because of the expense of the phone calls?
Yeah, because
she ordered $7,000 worth of beaver pelt from this guy.
No, I just, like, called him a lot, and since he was long distance and, like,
Right.
international or whatever.
All right, Rachel, here's the deal, though. You're 13. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to curtail it. I know it feels good. I know it's the only time you're happy, but it's really like saying, I'm only happy when I'm doing heroin, so why should I stop doing heroin?
She really sounds genuinely depressed. And
Right.
if there's a counselor at school or some access to your physician or somewhere you can get some mental health treatment, I would look into it because...
All right, Drew, please. Some poor bastards have been on hold here for 95 minutes. I just want to pile through this before we hang up. Anthony. You're 18. Girlfriend has put herself in seclusion. What can he do?
Right.
She won't talk to you?
She won't talk to anybody.
Okay.
What about her parents?
Her mom and dad are divorced.
She eating?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
How long has she been in seclusion?
She just doesn't want to be around nobody. Like, her friends will call her. She won't want to talk to them. I'll call her. She doesn't want to talk to me.
All right. Well, you got to consider yourself broken up with her. Could you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I'm asking. We don't have time to really peel through the onion too much here, but this seclusion could be code for I'm breaking up with you.
Right. Although she's cut herself off from the other friends too.
Theoretically,
Maybe
but
not,
this is not a bad ploy.
Yeah.
Pulling a
It's not available.
Howard Hughes on it.
Yeah.
Okay. One more call.
No, we gotta go.
Well, Drew, this poor Baz, 81 minutes this guy's been on hold. Hey, Leon. Leon.
Yeah, hi.
All right, your question is when does John's next album come out?
Yeah,
when he's good and effing ready, that's when it comes out. All right. Now, when does it come out before we go to break?
That's the answer. That's the best answer I could give.
Your record wrangler told me like end of the summer, something like that?
No, I don't know when it's going to be out. It's still gestating.
All right. So don't go to the store tonight. That's what John said. We'll be back.
K-Rock.
K-R-O-Q.
John Taylor, Melanie Freeman, thank you very much for coming in.
A great pleasure. Thank you.
We do appreciate it. And when 3 Alarm Fire comes out with when the CD's done and you're ready to do the tour and push that, by all means, come back.
Yes.
Talk about it. John, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. John was kind enough to invite us to his studio where Drew and I are going to be in the neighborhood, and we'll see if time permits. But stock up the fridge anyway. I like plenty of jerky and warm domestic
empty.
beer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Drew?
Yeah.
All right. Drew was done a half hour ago. So until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those